welcome back to the channel. I am out running errands and I thought, what a perfect time to tell the story of how I ended up with this Wrangler, because it was a whirlwind and I think it's a funny, interesting story. So I'm going to give you a little context here if you don't know me or my husband. So my husband actually has a YouTube channel. I say that he has a pretty decent sized YouTube channel, and he is huge in the Mopar community. So we have had a lot of Mopars. Like I said, I have had two Wranglers. I had a 4-door Wrangler and I had a 2-door Wrangler. But also in the span of 8 years, I have had a Genesis. I have had two 2500 mega cabs, a 3500 dually mega cab. Hold on, I'm thinking. 2 Trackhawks, 2 Vipers, 2 Hellcats, a Red Eye, a Dodge Demon, which is very cool, a Hyundai Genesis, which was actually the first car that I ever bought by myself. My mom co-signed me, but that was my very first car that I bought, and then it just escalated from there. We had a SRT Grand Cherokee. We had a Red Eye. I may have already said that because there's literally so many I can't remember. And so recently, when this came to be, Kevin, my husband, he had a we had the Trackhawk, which we are not getting rid of. That is a forever car for us. They no longer make the Trackhawks, so we are not getting rid of that. We want to keep it forever. I was daily driving the TRX, and we also had the Red Eye. And of course, Kevin is a car person and he is always looking at cars, but he loves Vipers. So he was looking online all the time and he found his unicorn Viper. And he said, Rachel, I want it. I want to get it. And I was like, that's fine. That's totally fine. But we literally have 4 cars. Our Demon was actually wrecked almost 3 years ago in our driveway. If you have not seen the video, it is absolutely horrifying. So we have that. We had, like I said, we have that, the Red Eye, the TRX, and the Trackhawk. And I was like, that's fine if you want the Viper, but we need to get rid of some cars then. We never drove the Red Eye, so I was like, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the TRX because they're not done making those. We can always get another one if we want. And let's keep the Trackhawk. I'll drive that, and then you can drive the Viper. And so that was the plan. We got rid of the TRX, we got rid of the Red Eye, and we were sharing the Trackhawk for the time being. Kevin ended up buying the Viper, but it was all the way in California, so it took a little bit of time to get here. They needed the right trailer. It was an expensive car and it's low, so it was kind of hard for them to find transportation for it. But the day, I cannot make this up, the day that Kevin got his Viper, let me backtrack. This story gets a little chaotic, but let me backtrack a little bit. I was totally cool with driving the Trackhawk. It's super badass. I love it. It's actually like my car. I just never drove it because I had the truck and Kevin had the Trackhawk wrapped. So it was silly for me to have it up at the bar when he could have it at the gym and advertise for his business. So I was totally cool with driving the Trackhawk and Kevin driving the Viper. I was very happy to get down to 2 cars. Anybody that knows me will know that this is a constant struggle for me and Kevin. I always want to have less cars. He always wants to have more cars. And somehow we always end up having more cars. And that's okay. I don't hate it. But I was very happy for us to have 2 cars that we were absolutely not going to get rid of. 3 if you want to count the Demon, which is sitting in the garage just wrecked. So I never count that. We had 2 cars. So the day Kevin gets the Viper delivered. I'm at work because we're sharing the Trackhawk, and he comes to pick me up in the Viper. And we literally pull out of my work. We are right on the street where my work, what my work is on. And I look across the street and I see the coolest fucking Jeep that I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's pink. And I said to Kevin, "What is that?" And he goes, "I don't know, Rachel. That has to be a custom paint job." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. That color is so cool." So that was on a Sunday. Monday morning, we are trying to figure out what the fuck this car is, what the color is, if this person had it custom painted. Because like I said, Kevin is very active in the Mopar community. We typically know what's going on with Jeep, with Dodge, with all the new releases. So I was like, this has to be a custom paint job because I don't even know what this is. So finally, after doing some research, we figure out that it is the Tuscadero Pink. Great. And then we figure out that it was only made for 1 year. And that it is already discontinued because they just started making the 2023 Wranglers. We have very good relationships with multiple dealerships because we have purchased a lot of vehicles through Jeep and through Dodge. So I was a little upset that I didn't know about it, that I couldn't have ordered it. And so I had decided when we went down to 2 cars that probably in a few years that I was going to get a Wrangler, but I was probably going to get another white one because my 2 other ones were white and I love the white ones. I see the pink one and I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to get it. No big deal. So Monday morning, while I'm doing cardio, Kevin and I start looking for them. And I'm like, I want a 2-door. I really loved my 2-door. We start looking and then we find out, again, we didn't know this. The Jeep had come out with a 392. But it's only in the 4-door. And so this search starts with about 20 used Tuscadero Jeeps. So we go to narrow it down to the 392. And I think there was about 10. And Kevin's like, okay, it's the used car market. This is a crazy color. Let's just put a pause on this. I literally just got the Viper yesterday and I was like, yeah, no big deal. Let's be smart. Let's be smart because old Rachel and Kevin would be like, fuck it, let's buy it right now. Let's buy it yesterday. And so then we start doing a little bit of research. We start looking up YouTube videos and just kind of starting to obsess over this car. And again, we find out that they came out with the Extreme Recon package. And so we go from 10 used vehicles to 2. There was 2 used 392 Extreme Recons literally in the whole entire United States. And that's when I started panicking because I had already been obsessing so much about this car. And at this point, because it's rare, Kevin started obsessing over it too. Because like I said, we have the Dodge Demon, which is number 1506 of 3000. They're never going to make that again. We have the Trackhawk, which is never being made again. Now we have the Viper, which they stopped making those too. We have 3 extremely hard to find cars. And so as soon as Kevin found out that this Jeep was hard to get, he wanted it too. And so we start talking with both of the dealerships. There is one that I am going to model my plan for my Jeep, all the new content that will be coming out, that was for sale at Motor Cars of Jackson. and it was so expensive. It was gorgeous, don't get me wrong. Total plan for the Jeep. But I knew that if I bought it, then I could not make YouTube videos about it because I would have nothing to do. It would already be done. And this was a goal of mine to start my YouTube, and I needed projects, you know? So the price and the projects, that one went out of the window. So there's only one left. And they were about $5,000 over what we felt comfortable paying for this car. And they weren't trying to come off it. Finally, I told Kevin, it's just not meant to be. I had accepted that I needed to let it go. And I think it was just hard for me because I could have ordered it. I could have ordered it a year ago if I had known about it. And now I was upset because I wanted it so bad and I couldn't get it. It wasn't working. And so, it was funny because of course this has been a dilemma for a week. This starts on a Monday. Okay. And I'm at work. I'm telling everybody about my Jeep dilemma and how I am obsessed with this Jeep and I'm going to get it and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm telling them the whole time what's going on. And that's Saturday. I worked Monday, Tuesday. I come back to work on Saturday after I had decided it's not going to happen. Literally was about to tell every single person, all my regulars, let it go. Don't ask me about it. It's dead. We're done. When I get a call from Kevin and no context. I'm like, why are you calling me at work? I'm fucking busy. And he's like, how much do you love me? And I was like, obviously a lot, but again, I'm at work. What do you need? And he's like, well, I was gonna surprise you, but I need your signature for something. And I'm like, literally not even thinking about it. And I'm like, what do you even need my signature for? And he says, well, I found you a pink Jeep and it will be here next week. And I about fucking cried because this has been the first time out of all of the cars that I have talked about that this was my decision. I have loved every single car that we have ever owned. Even the Wranglers were something that I wanted. The Genesis was something that I wanted, but they had all been influenced by Kevin. There's nothing wrong with that. When I saw this pink Jeep, it was my choice. It was my car. And so it felt like I finally got to pick what I wanted, and I was so excited. So fast forward, I don't know what happened, but it took almost 4 weeks to get this Jeep. I don't know what is going on. I've heard that there's transportation issues with carriers. I don't know if it's because it's lifted, that they were having a hard time finding a trailer for it, but we bought it. They said, oh, sometime this week we're gonna get it delivered. And then, oh, by this weekend. Oh, sometime this week. Oh, by this weekend. And so the video that I posted about when I finally got it, I knew that it was coming. It was not a surprise to me. This was not something that I did not know about. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when, because it had been so long of me waiting for it that when Kevin actually showed up to my work with it, I was genuinely shocked. And I was, like I said, worried that I would not like it as much as I had hyped it up in my head to be. But it is everything that I ever wanted. I'm so fucking excited. I cannot wait. I have major plans for this Wrangler. I hope you guys enjoyed the story of how I ended up getting this. Come back, comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more content about this super badass Tuscadero 392, which is crazy that I have. I'm so excited. If y'all want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. Let's go!